Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, if you're listening to this beat, your shoulders is probably going. You know what I'm saying? Don't it sound like a puffy beat? You know? Diddy. Puff Daddy. Sean Combs. He got 100 names, right? Well, when I made the beat, that's exactly who I had in mind when I was doing it. First I chose those drums. I chose all those drums, and I was like, you know what? I want something really aggressive. I want the beat to be very aggressive, but then I want it to be a smooth, like, kind of bass line in the back, which is kind of what you hear a little bit. So yeah, no, that was for Puffy. So I mean, listen, it's still available. All right, so y'all reach out to Puff. What's going on, y'all? This is Mills the Virgo here. This is Mills Speaks. This is episode number 30. 30. We started in January. It is October. We got 30 episodes in us, and I'm guessing, I don't do math well, but I'm hoping I can get another 10 in before the end of the year, and then that'll be 40. That would be dope. It'd be cool if I could get 50 done, right? But I mean, that would take an excessive amount of recording on my part. But then if I count the ones that aren't a part of this episode count, so it's like two episodes of How to Get Away with Murder. So really 32 episodes, I guess. So I'd probably be closer to that number than I imagine, you know, once that's all, you know, finished and wrapped. But anyway, so yes, this episode 30 episode is called, let's see, Doors. They open, they close. So I just gave this a title today. So, or maybe it was yesterday when I put together in pre-production. I put the beat together, looped it, made sure the levels are good, and then I had to name it. So at the time, because I got some really good news yesterday, sometimes I was feeling frustrated all day, and then I got some good news toward the end of the day. So there's like, you have fucked up day, or fucked up situations, and then, God constantly enters in to show you yet again that nothing lasts forever. There is no problem actually, waiting, being patient, all of these things. And it's hard because as humans, we, even if we do exercise what I call the law of allowing, which is something that my very first therapist that I ever saw kind of helped me to understand. Even if we do accept the law of allowing, which is basically allowing things to happen around you that you cannot control, trying to remain, loyal and, diligent to the things that you can control, to affect the most change. Even if you have a really good grasp of the law of allowing, because we're humans, we typically are results based, right? So you want to say you want to lose some weight, and you work out for a couple of days, you eat less things that you like, you're hungry, you're sore, all of these things, you get on the scale in a couple of days, and you weigh yourself and you haven't lost any weight, and it's like, okay, fuck this, right? I mean, because that's the way our minds work. We're not conditioned to be patient, we're not conditioned to be understanding, I feel. So you have to really work at it. So, I've been working on it. I've been really trying. So, I think I've mentioned more than a couple of times on various episodes that the beginning of the year was very hard for me. And looking at it at this point from October standpoint, I mean, I don't even know how I survived. Only God and my mother, okay? I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I had a lot of friends and a lot of family that were supportive as well, but, I mean, for the most part, it was, quick thinking, robbing Peter to pay Paul, working things out with my mom, thank God I had that as an option, because a lot of people don't, you know what I mean? And, just trying to keep it together, I mean, I thought it was going to be over for me this summer. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought a car was going to be out of here. I thought, at the very minimum, we would still have a place to live, right? But it just was very hard when you really think about how close you are to losing it all, or being in a place where you're not, where you don't feel stable, right? And that's a very stressful way to live. And when you do finally get out of it, or you kind of can break free of it a bit, you feel like you can breathe again. You feel like you actually live again as opposed to existing. So I'm blessed that I could have come from that situation earlier this year and, come to this place and be grateful for the opportunity to be miserable and grateful that I came through it the way that I did, quite frankly. So I've been practicing the law of allowing, trying to get it together, and be patient. But a lot of times you just get impatient. You set a goal out that you say, okay, I'm gonna give this shit 6 months. You know what I mean? And 6 months comes and goes, and then you get itchy again, and you're like, okay, all right, this is not gonna work. Okay, so clearly my plan didn't work. Now you're scrambling, thinking of other things. And I think that's when your juices really get to flowing. I think that's dope. But however you choose to deal, I can't tell you how to. I'm not even going to be the one to be like, go to therapy. A lot of that's going on right now with the mental health movement. I kind of feel that's happening. It's great that people are trying to figure out what's going on. It's great that they're trying to be their best selves. So I have nothing to say about that per se, but I will say that I'm not the one that's immediately going to say, oh my God, you got a mental health issue. That's not for me to diagnose. I'm not a licensed professional, not even close, even though sometimes I'm a doctor. But anyway, that's not a story for here. Yeah, so, that's why the title is the way that it is. So I feel really good about what's coming in the next few weeks for me, in really months. And I just see so many great things when you add a second, like a second stream of income. It's exciting, to say the very least. So anyway, we're going to move on past that. I'll probably share what the news is later in life, but not now. Alright, so I'm going to start first. I have notes. I have a few notes and a few things that I want to talk about. This will probably be a fairly short episode. It's not going to be an hour probably, but I say that a lot, and a lot of times I lie. So, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so my first note is the Tyler Perry Studios. So I don't know if you guys have paid attention. I think it was last weekend. It was last Sunday. Actually, it was the full weekend. I think last weekend was the weekend that Tyler Perry Studios opened for, the grand opening. I think they probably had been shooting there already, but I think that that was, the grand opening. He shut down the studios in California. He shut down all the other ones that he uses, and then just everything's now home base in Atlanta, which is fantastic. For Georgia, quite frankly, especially as it pertains to filming TV shows and or movies. Because really, if you think about it, Tyler Perry does a decent amount of movies himself, but the studio is so huge that you might have the opportunity, if you were a filmmaker, to go to Tyler Perry Studios and shoot your fucking film. He may not be as ridiculous as the other studios, for directors or for, whoever to shoot there, it's huge. It is huge. It's over 100 some odd acres, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I can pull some quick facts up about it. I don't think I wrote that part down. I wrote some other stuff down, but I didn't write down, I didn't write down how big it was, and it's really awesome. It's so big that you could literally take all of the other studios, so MGM, Grand, Paramount, all of the studios that have huge, sound stages and all that stuff. You can put all of them into Tyler Perry Studios, and then he would still have about 62 acres left, which I think is fantastic. Another, perk of this shit is that all the houses that's on the lot, all of the houses are up to code and can be lived in. Tyler Perry has also stated that not only will he be shooting his movies and his TV shows here, and that headquarters will be here, he's also going to have a sheltered area for, gay, trans kids who get kicked out for women that have been sex trafficked, all of these things. They'll be able to go there. Apparently, the studio cost like $250 million to build. And it was built on an old Confederate hospital ground. So, during slavery, obviously, they had hundreds and hundreds of slaves. And the cool thing that he had to say about this is now this is owned by, one Negro. He had a bunch of Negroes on here. Now it's owned by one Negro. So it's kind of dope that Tyler Perry owns his own studio. And I think that now people kind of can connect the vision. Because I don't think people really connected it before. And specifically I'm talking about black people, specifically black males. A lot of people love Tyler Perry plays. My best friend, one of my BFFs, okay, Clarice, she actually put me on to the Tyler Perry plays. And at first I wasn't into it at first, but then when I watched them and the singing and all of the acting, and it's just so cool. And so yeah, I loved them, okay? And so a lot of men were giving him grief because, oh man, you gotta dress like a woman, da 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 da, blah blah blah. He's selling out, he's making these da 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 blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they understood the vision, or clearly they didn't understand the vision. That man was homeless at one point and worked himself up to being almost a billionaire now, owning his own studios, which worth over $250 million. Tyler Perry is, the ultimate American dream. He's the black American dream as well. You know what I mean? And it's like, I bet those same motherfuckers don't have the same energy about Madea that they did 10 years ago. So it's just, I just love to see him vindicated. I love to see him win, because everybody seemed like they was rooting for this nigga to lose, if they weren't talking about how terrible his movies was, if they wasn't talking about how terrible his plays was, the fact that he was dressing up as a Madea, the fact that the women have this issue all the time and they were always da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. Everybody wants to, nitpick every single problem, or issue in his films and TV shows and all of this stuff. And, I don't understand it. I never will, because I always root for people to win, right? So shout out to Tyler Perry, my Virgo brother, for opening up such a huge and a beautiful grounds. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, Ava DuVernay, I think, was the only person who was able to actually do live videos and shit, and she put it up on her stories, which of course only lasts for 24 hours sometimes. And she did the full out tour where she was going through all of these different, areas, showing where the houses was, showing the neighborhoods for the different TV shows. I mean, it was exquisite. And then, of course, there were just the pictures of the celebrities at the events. I think there was something on Friday night. There was something on Saturday. There's something on Sunday. They did a brunch. They did church service. They, you know what I mean? It was a whole balled out weekend with some of, if not all of, or the majority of Black Hollywood, and a lot of the musicians as well. So Tyler Perry had, I think he's got a total of 12 sound stages, fully huge sound stages, which is amazing. And what he did was he named the sound stages for our iconic black actors, actresses, directors, whomever. And so here's a list. Here's a short list, because I don't think I got all 12, but here's a list of some of the sound stages, and majority of these people were there to present their own sound stage, with a few exceptions. Of course, I will let you know who they are, but obviously some of them are going to be very obvious, because some of them are dead, and then some of them just didn't go, or we didn't see pictures of them there. So the first one I've got a list of Oprah, I've got Whoopi, Diane Carroll, rest in peace, Sidney Poitier, Ruby Dee, and Ozzie Davis, rest in peace, both of them. Harry Belafonte, Spike Lee, Denzel Washington, Will Smith, and Della Reese, they all have their own soundstage, and I believe, obviously, I'm missing, so was that's 3, that's 6, what's that, 9, 10, so I'm missing 2, so I'm not sure who else, has sound stages, but it is fantastic to me. Will Smith was there. Denzel was not. Della Reese passed. Okay, so she's gone. Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis have passed on, and then Diane Carroll has recently passed on. Oprah was there. Whoopi was there. I don't recall seeing Harry Belafonte along with Denzel. I don't know if they were there and just didn't get photographed, or if they just didn't make it. Harry Belafonte is quite old, so I'm sure he didn't make it. But I'm not sure what the deal was with Denzel. He could be working. You never know. Hey, man, that man don't have time to be partying. Last time Denzel went balls to the wall when he wanted to party, his wife put him on restriction. So, I mean, here's the deal. We're going to move past that. I love him. And Spike Lee was there as well. And so I was just so impressed by the whole situation. All of the celebrities were there. There wasn't one that we loved that wasn't there. I did see Beyonce and Jay-Z showed up, which was cool. All of Destiny's Child was there. So many people. Lorenz Tate, Charlamagne the God was there with his wife. Kadeem and DeVal Ellis, they are Instagram folks, and they do like vlogs and stuff, but they are on a Tyler Perry TV show now, and they're just moving up in life, and that's really great. They were there. Trying to think of who else was there. It was so many people. Jamie Foxx was there. It's so many people. I can't even think of all of the people that were there. 2 Chainz, T.I., Tiny. I know that 50 Cent got an invitation because he showed it on his IG when he got it, but I'm not sure if he was there because I didn't see any photos of him there. But that doesn't mean anything because a lot of them didn't take pictures. Jill Scott was one who was there who just didn't take a lot of pictures. Just imagine every single person that was on a cast for Tyler Perry being there, because that's literally what it was. Tyler Perry's cast for Why Did I Get Married? A lot of them were there. I didn't see Malik Yoba, of course, but hey, he might have been in town. Who knows? But yeah, everybody was there. Everybody was looking good. Everybody was looking healthy. Everybody was looking happy. So shout out to Tyler Perry and all of the 50 million people that he's employed, and the people he will continue to employ. Shit, I'm going to be looking on his website myself. I mean, shit, is he going to be hiring for audio people? Who knows? Who knows? You never know, okay? Shit, you just never damn know. But anywho, I'm going to move on from that, but that was fantastic. So great to Tyler Perry, and hopefully he can, make it to billionaire status soon. I'm sure he will. Next up, let's see what I got. So this is, so football. I'll talk a little bit about football. The Patriots and the 49ers are the only teams that are undefeated right now. 49ers, those of you who may or may not be aware, my mother is a huge 49er fan, has been since I was a kid. She is elated that they're 4-0. I think they're 4-0 because they had an early bye week. She's elated about it. I'm happy for her, honestly, because they weren't going to get much good luck until they righted a few wrongs that they did when they sat Alex Smith down and they put in Kaepernick and started the Kaepernick era. I didn't like the way that went down, and I figured that they wouldn't really get I figured they wouldn't get out of that until, they righted a few wrongs. So they did. And so it looks like they're on an upswing. They got a new GM, they got new coaches, they got a new quarterback, they got a lot of new guys on the team, new stadium. I mean, everything's new, everything's going great. So good for them. And the Patriots are just doing more of the same. They are always doing shit to win. And that's just that. And their quarterback is old, but he looks like he's 30. Shout out to Tom Brady. But okay. I already talked about this rough week. I actually wrote that down, that I had a rough week, and I was going to expand upon that, but actually there's no need because I already talked about that at the beginning when I was talking about what the title means. So, thank God for, thank God that we don't stay in our bullshit long. It feels long, but it's not long, So thank God for that. I will say, yesterday was like a day for new music and movies. I'm like really stoked. I haven't had an opportunity to listen to shit. Okay, like I said, Friday was a jacked up day for me, and I was kind of busy all day, so I didn't get an opportunity to really listen to anything new. So the highlights, if I'm not mistaken, are going to be the Fantasia album. She's got an album called Sketchbook, new single called Bad Girl, and PTSD. And I think that PTSD song is with T-Pain. And I think I heard it. It's kind of forgettable clearly because I don't remember it, but at the same time, it could have been a snippet for all I know that I heard. Who knows? But I think I heard that song, like a snip of it, and it sounded cool. But I haven't heard the Bad Girl song, so that'll be interesting to check out. Wale released an album called Wow. That's crazy. So my thing is I don't like Wale. Like, I've really tried with him because I thought that Wale would be the dude that I like, because see, I've always liked a really intense guy, really smart, really heady guy, intense for no real reason, a rebel without a cause. I'm here for all of that, but I just kind of feel like Wale is a douchebag, and I don't like some of his past behaviors, and it's hard for me to let stuff go. So it's hard for me to take his work serious because I don't believe that he's a genuine person, and I don't believe some of the things that he's trying to sell, But I will say that a lot of people whose opinion I respect musically have listened to this album, and they have said that it is a really good album and that it's probably his best work. So I will try to give him another chance again. This will be on Monday when I get to work. I will try to give him another opportunity to at least be like, oh, Wale ain't trash. You know what I'm saying? For me, anyway. Lil' Kim released a new album called 9, and I need to take a listen to this. I mean, Lil' Kim's last album was good. So, but I mean, that was a very long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to her for still putting out music and still remaining relevant. She did just get an award the other day on the BET Hip Hop Awards. I think it was a Lifetime Achievement Award or something like that. So shout out to Lil' Kim. And a lot of people try to sit here and play Lil' Kim out because obviously she's taken plastic surgery to the next level with her face and body. And there was an idea that Lil' Kim didn't write her rhymes in the beginning. Biggie wrote them. And I think that's true. And I'm not even mad at it because I think eventually she got into a place where she was writing her own rhymes and still is now to this day. Right? But people really underestimate what the fuck Lil' Kim did. I don't think... I remember being a kid going home and watching Video Soul or watching whatever I was watching to see videos on BET, and the Crush on You came on, and she had every color was a new wig, a new outfit. It wasn't the same outfit but different colors. It was different shit. Lil' Kim was raunchy as fuck. She was very regular looking in regards to her face and her features. She was a little lady. She was a New York girl. She was pretty in the face. You know what I'm saying? She had a really regular look. She looked like any other pretty chick around the way, She rapped like a beast, but talked like a little dainty little girl, which I thought always fucked me up. It always did when I was growing up. I didn't understand. I was like, how is her voice like this? But anyway, so yeah, she, I think they underestimate her impact. Lil' Kim's impact was intense. I mean, there was so much good shit there. I mean, she was the one who came up with the Queen Bee. She was the one who had the different color hair, the different color, the raunchy, no real clothes having ass woman. You know what I'm saying? She had a mouth like a sailor. At the time, there was, there's always competition. There's always an inverse. There's always, if there's, this, then there's that, right? So there was Lil' Kim and then there was Foxy Brown. Lil' Kim was a little lighter. Foxy was a dark girl. There was different swags, it was just a completely different vibe. It was dope. They did get along at one point, and they did a remix to a song called No One Else. It was a Total song, and Total song was already dope as fuck. Okay? No One Else was dope as fuck. Okay? It had the Brat on it already. Okay? What they did was they did a remix, because back in the day, the remix was king. Remix was everything. Puff did a remix, okay, with Jermaine Dupri, okay. So it was a So Def Bad Boy remix, and and they put Lil' Kim on there, they put Foxy Brown on there, and they put Da Brat on there. Da Brat was last, Foxy was first, and I think Kim was second. Oh, was it? Wait. I don't remember. All I know is, though, it was so dope, and it was akin to, you know, what happened previously in like '94, which was maybe about a year or two prior to that, when, you know, Brandy had her remix with I Wanna Be Down with Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, and Yo-Yo. I mean, obviously, you know, if you look back in a vacuum right now, you could say that those two songs have, you know, 6 legendary female MCs between them, right? You could say that, but at the time, real MCs and real hip hop heads was like, yo, that Brandy John was better than the No One Else John, because, you know, boom, 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 you know. But in any case, Kim is the shit, and obviously, you know, for me, with this whole Lil' Kim and versus Nicki Minaj shit, you know, that was going on for a bit, like, you know, I never really understood the gist of that. I thought, I kind of felt like Lil' Kim wanted Nicki Minaj to bow down to her more than she did. I'm not sure that that was true. I think Lil' Kim is down to earth as fuck and really doesn't care about that kind of shit. And I think there was probably some dumb shit going on with Nicki Minaj, because as we go, you know, fast forward, 10, 15 years, you know, of Nicki Minaj being around, which it hasn't been 15 years, so I don't know why I said that. But fast forward, Nicki Minaj, you know, she's been an asshole to just about everybody. So, you know, there's that on that. So, I don't know. I don't know why it had to be that way, but obviously I side with Kim, because I ain't got time for the bullshit, quite frankly. I really don't. And Lil' Kim has never really started a beef with people. She's never really been tripping on people like that. So, I'm not really sure why that has to continue to happen, okay? But I mean, at this point, I guess it doesn't, because, you know, Nicki had moved her attentions over to other people at this point, so, you know. And I was stalling, actually, because I wanted to go back and see when Nicki Minaj dropped his first album, so I could see how long she's been in the game. Okay, so she's been in the game for 9 years, so it's coming up on 10, or whatever, because she dropped her first album in 2010, so she was probably grinding out for a couple of years before that, so, okay, you know, so she's been in the game almost 10 years now, and, you know, I just kind of feel like she's over the top with a lot of shit, with what she expects from people, specifically female MCs, to be bowing down to her and all kind of shit, so, you know, it is what it is. I mean, she's my age, so I think she's probably, hopefully she's working through some shit that we, you know, learned and probably needed to undo by now, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Another album that came out, Afro B. The album is called Afro Wave 3. And a friend of mine actually put me onto this. And then I also had another friend of mine put me onto a new album that came out by a person named Robert Glasper. Apparently he's I don't know if he's a rapper or a singer, but he has like a hip-hop, jazz, fusion type, you know, thing going, and he's got a really nice amount of features on the album. Rhapsody's on there, and a couple of others that I like. And also, Heather, what is her name? Her name is Heather Victoria, okay? So, she's a singer. Her name is Heather Victoria. Her new album is Boutique Hotel. And I haven't listened to it either, but I plan on it on Monday. And, but I have heard her song before. She had a song on, Jamla's The Squad Part 2. It's a Ninth Wonder compilation album with all of the Jamla artists, which it would include Rhapsody and this young lady and a few others that I don't know their names like that. And she had a song on there called Japan. So you guys should check that out because it's a really nice song. It's a complete vibe. It's chill as fuck, and she's got a great voice. So I'll look forward to this album. I probably listen to this one first, and then get to the Robert Glasper, and then roll over to Lil' Kim, and then maybe Wale. Who else? Fantasia too. Yeah, probably have to break this up all week. I'm not gonna get to everybody on Monday. But I'm just glad from new music because, I get bored easy. I do. I get bored real easy, so it's really great. Yeah, I'm definitely looking at Us on the back. I got the movie Us playing in the background over here because a lot of times I just like to have something playing, while I'm recording. And it's at the end where, Adelaide has killed herself. And it's so crazy. It's still so crazy. Lupita Nyong'o, okay, is just fantastic. She's got another show. I think I have this written down further, but I'll talk about it right now since we're talking Lupita. Lupita has a new movie on Hulu that's called Little Monsters, and I started it. Yeah, I started it, but I haven't finished it. But I can't wait to to finish it. I haven't even gotten to the place where Lupita's been introduced in the movie, so I'm really excited about it. I think it's a horror film, or at least one of those. It's a weird film where it's supposed to be scary, but it's not, or it's supposed to be scary. There's scary shit happening, but then it's like a different type of contrast. Lupita seems extremely energetic and really hyper and really nice. So I don't know. There's zombies, so who knows what this situation is going to be. But I'm really excited to watch it. I'll have to get into it maybe tonight or maybe tomorrow before football starts. Let's see what else I got. Oh, we're talking new movies now. So, Will Smith's got that new movie out, that Gemini Man. I gotta get to see that. I knew that I wanted to see that when it premiered. When I saw I can't remember if I saw the premiere for it or the preview for it, on the Captain Marvel or the Avenger movie. But either way it goes, it was on one of those films, and ever since I saw it, I was like, oh, I gotta see that shit. And it was like, oh, it's coming out in November. And I'm like, fuck, November. But here we are in October. They moved it up, and here we are. So I'm happy about that. So that should be dope. Because Will Smith's he's fighting, old Will Smith is fighting young Will Smith. And it's wow. It looks crazy. So I don't know how they, I don't know the actual plot of the movie. We just know that Will Smith is hunting somebody who is very fast, very good. He finally catches them, and it's him, 20 years ago. So, I don't know, man. It's a clone situation. I'm excited. The government's a part of it. You know that. So, I will keep y'all posted. If I do actually go get a chance to see it, I might not do a full review, but I might dedicate some time to one of the podcast, episodes just to talk about it. Another movie that's coming out is Maleficent Part 2. There's more words to the second part of this movie. There's more words, but I can't. So we're just gonna go with Maleficent 2. Okay. Honestly, have no idea what this movie is going to be about. I know that the Sleeping Beauty will be getting married. I'm not real sure what else is going on with this, so I probably won't get to the movies to see this at all. I probably just will wait for it to come on to the Disney Plus app, or the Fire Stick. Another movie that is getting getting critical acclaim already before it's officially launched or been released is Queen and Slim. I think I talked about Queen and Slim on a couple of episodes, maybe, I don't know, a few months ago. But Queen and Slim is a film that I think it premiered on the preview premiered on the BET Awards this summer in June sometime. And this movie has Get Out, the dude from Get Out, and another young lady who's kind of new to acting. They're in the movie. they're in the movie and they're on a date, and then things go wrong, very, very wrong, very, very wrong, and they end up killing a cop, and then they go on the run. So, yeah. That is what it's about, and I don't know how this is going to end. I don't know if they're going to get away with this. I think that would be awesome, but it's also not realistic. But it's already getting really great reviews. It's been shown in private viewings this past weekend. People are all crazy about it, so I cannot wait, personally. And I already talked about Little Monster, so we're good on that. And I also just wanted to share with the TV shows that I'm actually watching right now, because, before, I'm really not a big TV show watcher, honestly, because, it takes a lot for me to constantly, stay engaged. It takes a lot for me to be engaged all the time. And so I basically been watching like maybe 4 TV shows right now, maybe 5, depending on, what you think. So one it's 5 because I don't have How to Get Away with Murder written down on here, but I do have 4 other ones. So the first one that I'm watching is the Wu-Tang TV show that's on Hulu. Yeah, that show's dope. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. I feel like I might have, but that show is so dope. And they dropped, I think, maybe 4 episodes at one point, and then they've been releasing them every Wednesday. And so when I got my hair braided about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I thought that it was only 6 episodes, and I thought that was it. And then the next Wednesday, an episode dropped. So I was going to do an entire episode about the shit, a podcast episode. And then I realized, it's not over, right? So I pumped my brakes. No, but it's fantastic. Of course, it's chronicling the Wu-Tang Clan and how they got together, how they started, all of that kind of stuff. Right now, they're really focused on the RZA. They had an episode that was, heavy on, the RZA, the GZA. Method Man just recently had his episode. So did Raekwon and Ghostface Killah. Ghostface Killah is actually, big, to the story, because they're like best friends with Raekwon. Best friends with the RZA and his brother. And so it's a fantastic show. It's shot beautifully. It's just beautiful. I really believe I'm watching, niggas in the 90s. Like, I really do believe that. So it's really dope. In New York. Let's not forget that. Niggas in the 90s in New York. Okay? I do believe that. So it's pretty cool. Another show I'm watching is Emergence. It's a new show that's coming on ABC. A plane crashes and the police chief gets down there and she finds a kid that was a part of the plane crash, but she's got no scratches, she's got no cuts, no bruises, no nothing, only survivor, right? She's got superpowers, she's moved the rain, she's made cars crash, she's, lots of things, weird things are going on, you know what I mean? So it's good. You know me. You know me. I love anything with some powers. The little girl has powers. That's more than enough. That's more than enough to keep me all in on that. More than enough. So yeah, there's that. The next show is This Is Us, of course. This Is Us is, a great show. A lot of you probably have been watching this show for a couple of years now. I have a coworker that just refuses to watch this show. I think it's one of those situations where, they just don't want to watch it because, and I get like this about certain stuff. I don't like doing what everybody's doing. So, I kind of feel like that's what this is, man. I feel like that's what this is. Yeah, I feel like it's a situation where, she told me that, number one, she doesn't want to cry. She doesn't want to be sad. And I understand a lot of people, because I feel like my manager has said this, that she has to get in a right headspace to watch This Is Us. One of my good friends, Rachel, says kind of the same thing, like she got to psych herself up. For me, it's not like that for me, I think. And I think it's because I invite and welcome those feelings on a regular basis, just because I have anxiety, and I always did have anxiety about like losing a parent or both. And when I was a kid, like, for some reason, that was a very real fear of mine all the time. I don't know why. Okay, thank God it never happened. My parents are alive and well. I just don't know why. I was the only kid. I was stressed about that situation, maybe. And I just was like, oh my God, my parents can't die. What's going to happen to me? That kind of thing. Yeah, how am I going to live? So I think those feelings, I always played those things in my head when I was a kid, got myself all worked up, No matter how much you do that, though, you'll never be prepared for it when it actually happens, so I don't even know why I did it. But I'm blessed that I'm able to kind of put it together now, and even tell myself, you need to stop. Anytime I'm thinking like that, just cut it out. Your parents are fine. Cut it out. Your friends are good. Cut it out. Kobe's good. I worry about these kinds of things, and I don't know why. But so for me, This Is Us. It'll be emotional for you sometimes, but I don't know. I welcome feelings. I just do. I like things that evoke emotion. I like laughing. I like comedies. I like all of those things too, but This Is Us does it for me. Like, that is it. That and Queen Sugar. If you've ever watched Queen Sugar, it's the same situation. Queen Sugar is just 10 times better because I don't know, actually, you know what? It's not 10 times better. It's just different. And it's the same type of stuff. The family, the love, the richness of the people are genuinely good people. That kind of shit that you just don't experience on a day-to-day basis. It's beautiful. And sometimes you gotta cry about that shit. And then sometimes, bad shit happens and you gotta cry about that shit. I mean, fuck it. But in any case, I mean, you can't really tell people that, you can handle this, you can't really say that. But I think that anyone that watches the show, starts the show, will understand how crazy it is, how great it is, and everything. I don't even think that season 1, the emotions that you feel on literally every single episode on season 1, there's no way they kept it up like that season 2 and 3. I can tell you, they didn't. There were some episodes last season where I was like, oh, but not so much, not a lot. And so far this season, I haven't been emotional, which is a blessing because, baby, blindness, all of these things. So yeah, no, I haven't had that problem. I haven't had that problem with this show in particular. But I am watching it, continuing to stay extremely stressed by it. But it's all good. Now, there's no stress like the How to Get Away with Murder stress. I mean, there just is no stress like it. And that's one of the shows that I'm watching too. As you guys know, I'm doing the How to Get Away with Murder episode on, special podcast episodes I'm doing. And yeah, so I love that show. Been watching it the whole time since the beginning, and it's wrapping up, and it's getting crazy. And the last show that I'm really focused on is NCIS New Orleans. Rachel hates on this show all the time because she thinks she's from New Orleans, and she doesn't like that the people don't have real New Orleans accents. And I had to just let her know that, my dude Chris is from Alabama. He's a Bama, so he's not gonna sound like, New Orleans. He ain't gonna sound like that. Okay, baby. Okay, he ain't gonna do that. But I mean, hey, there's that. I love that show. I messed around and woke up one day, and they've had the marathon on. They play it on Saturday and Sunday mornings on TNT. They marathon that bitch, and we were watching it and just loved it. I was like, damn, I like this shit. So So yeah, we watch that shit. That comes on Tuesday nights, along with Emergence. That literally comes on the same time, so I have to pick and choose which one I'm actually trying to watch. But I actually don't have to pick and choose, because if anything that comes on Hulu, I'm okay with missing it and don't have to watch it real time. The things that I can't get on Hulu, then I'll try to, watch that. And it's really just NCIS New Orleans, because CBS is trash, right? So they don't let, they don't let you do it on Hulu unless you are paying for live TV. So there's that. There's that. And that's literally all I had, guys. Last thing. It's Saturday night, so the Gamecocks have already played the Georgia Bulldogs, and the Gamecocks have already mollywopped by 3 points the Georgia Bulldogs. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I think I am not alone when I thought that we would lose this game handily. And I am pleasantly surprised that we did not. We watched this end of this game once we finished wrapping up the How to Get Away with Murder episode. Rachel and I watched this, and it went to double overtime, and we were just sitting here like, oh my god, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? And then bam, they won it. So I was like, oh shit, okay, that's what's up. So shout out to the Gamecocks for going on the road, getting a win in Athens, Georgia. Y'all will be back next week, and I think we play like Vanderbilt or something, like Kentucky. No, we already played Kentucky, beat the shit out of them. I think Vanderbilt we play next week. I have to double check it just to see. See if I can get some tickets or something. But, so shout out to them, and hopefully that'll save Will Muschamp's job, because he should be fired at this point. But there's that. I mean, because even in this game that we won, we so happened to win because it wasn't because he was a great coach, because all of the plays that he was calling was stupid. Every play he was calling was dumb. Like, what is happening here? So, there's that. But other than that, it's been a crazy week. It ended great. I'm just going to keep praying that things continue to look up for me and my family, and for you and yours. All right? So, with that, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all of these things with the podcast. All of that stuff. Guys have to drop me a line, have a question about anything. Hit me on IG. Mills Speaks. I'm very available right there. On Twitter, it's Mills the Virgo, and on Facebook, it's also Mills Speaks. You can type in Mills Speaks, or you can type in J Mills Productions. But if you just type in and search Mills Speaks, it'll bring up a lot of things that you can click on and see what's going on and see how many episodes have been posted and whatever. Right? But all right, y'all. Thank you very much for listening. Appreciate your ear. Holla.